Hello and welcome. This is Mr. Obina Nzechi, and I am a TRCN and QTS certified science educator. Some days back, I made a post about acquiring the qualifying teacher status, which is called QTS. I recently acquired the certification from the United Kingdom, and I have gotten numerous inboxes and questions bothering and asking how they can apply for similar certification if qualified and the processes involved in the application. And looking at the number of the questions I have in my DM, I honestly will not be able to attend to each and every one of the persons asking one or two questions about this application. And I have taken it upon myself to make a video to address what I know about the application process and, of course, help anyone that might be interested in the certification so that the process will be as easy as possible for them. And please take note, this video is for educational purpose. Of course, if you are yet to follow Ubi Science Lab, or if you are seeing this video for the first time, if you are seeing my face for the first time, please do well to follow the page and comment and like what we do here. So moving forward, in the year 2022, the United Kingdom, that is the Teaching Regulation Agency of the United Kingdom, made a publication about including some other countries into the list of countries that can apply for the QTX directly from their own country of origin without necessarily coming down or traveling to the United Kingdom to undergo the training process, because the QTS requires you to be trained in the UK and learn about their education system and their curriculum and all that before you be certified to be a teacher in the United Kingdom. But in 2022, the law was relaxed a bit for some other countries, because before then, there were about 9 countries that had that privilege of applying from their own country to become certified QTS teachers. But in 2022, there was a memo that said, okay, teachers from these other countries can also apply for this QTS from their own country. And luckily enough, Nigeria was among the countries. And this window was let open in June 2022. And when this was done, so I would like to tell my own personal story, how my own application started and how it became successful at the end of the day, and the back and fronts, up and downs that I faced during the application process. And maybe I don't want this video to be too long. And maybe in later time, I will now take time to break down the processes stage by stage for better comprehension. But for today, please, you spare me the time to tell my own story about this application. I know one or two persons will learn one or two things from the story. So in June 2022, the window was let open for Nigerian trained teachers to apply for the QTS. And when this window was let open, people were curious. Questions were raised. Okay, what are the specifications? What are the parameters? Is it everybody that is a teacher, whether qualified or not qualified, can apply? Then there was a breakdown rules from the TRA, that is the Teaching Regulation Agency in the UK, that said, okay, for you to apply, you need to be a graduate from certain field of study, and they listed the fields of study, which includes sciences, mathematics, and languages. And they said if your field falls within this field of study, that is a university graduate, at least bachelor's degree, the excluded NCE, the specification or the requirement starts from bachelor's. If your bachelor's degree falls within this field of study, sciences, that is the general sciences, or mathematics particularly, then the languages, be it French, English, any of the languages that is of interest to the United Kingdom, that you can apply for the QTS from your home country if your country is included. Of course, Nigeria was included by then. So I opened this application portal, scanned through the requirements, being ambitious and being anxious to submit the application. I was ignorant and I was too naive because of poor orientation. That was the first time the country is having such opportunity, and there was no much experience from anyone. No one has applied before. Everyone was just a first time applicant at that point in time. Nobody could provide solid answers to some questions that were raised by then. So I went ahead and started this application without delay. And in the process of the application, I got stuck when I came across the stage that said, okay, you have to request for what is called letter of professional standing. And that was the first time I came across that word, letter of professional standing. And in that letter of professional standing, for me, that was the toughest stage of the application because at that stage, you will now have to email TRCN. And when you email TRCN, you will request for the letter of professional standing. And when you request for it, TRCN will authenticate your certificate, TRCN certificate and license, then get back to the QTS team via email to attest to the fact that yes, you are a qualified teacher in Nigeria. So I didn't know that this is actually what it's all about. I thought it was just a normal, okay, hi, TRCN, I need a letter of so 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 so. So when I did that, I didn't get a response from the TRCN. I knew that something was wrong. So I made some research about what the letter of professional standing is all about. And I realized that it's more than what I was thinking. So I had to now visit the TRCN office in the capital city of the state where I was then. So when I visited the office, they now said, okay, for before you can request for letter of professional standing, you don't just need only the TRCN certificate, that you need to apply for the TRCN license because there is difference between having a TRCN certificate and having a TRCN license. That when you write the TRCN exam and pass, you'll be awarded a certificate, yes, but beyond that, for you to be fully certified teacher in Nigeria, that you need a TRCN license, which is the recognized teaching license in Nigeria. And by then I didn't have this. I said, okay, what are the documents required? What are the processes so that I can get this license? Because I have already started this application. And in this QTS application, once you start it, you have 6 months to complete the application. If you are unable to complete this application within 6 months, your application will be deleted from the website. You will now have to start again. So when I now asked them, okay, how long will it take me to get this license and now come and send message or mail for professional standing? Huh. I was told that it does not have a fixed time, that all they do is to collect your credentials, document them, and then forward it to the necessary quarters for processing for the license. And being a Nigerian and knowing what is obtainable, I knew that these processes might not start and finish within 6 months because one or two things might possibly delay the process. And if, for instance, I'm able to get this license, let me say within the first fourth month, and I have 2 months left, if I've gotten this license and I now send letter of professional standing, because before you can send letter of professional standing, you have to pay the sum of 60,000 naira as at then. I don't know how much that is now. So when I thought of this, I said, that means if I pay 60,000 naira and I now send request for letter of professional standing from TRCN, if TRCN now delay beyond 1 or 2 months, my application will be deleted, which must have reached its 6 months lifespan. After 6 months, my application will expire in the QTS website. Why TRCN have not given me letter of professional standing? My 60,000 naira will be a waste, and the application will have to start again. So when I weighed my options and the risk, I now decided, I made up my mind to forfeit the first application. Let it spend the whole of the 6 months and let it be deleted before I can start another one. Because one special thing about the website is that you can't use your details to register twice in the website. Once you put in your details and you want to, for instance, you have already started an application and you want to start another one, the system will highlight your application and notify you that you have started an application before. Even if you change an email or you change a phone number, it detects double submission of a detail. And the system does not permit double submission of detail. In this case, once you have started a QTS application, you cannot start another until you have finished the first one you have started. So I have to now forfeit the first application while I kindly follow the process of acquiring the TRCN license and also the letter of professional standing, kind of doing my findings to know more about how the process works. But then there was something that I forgot during the application. The website emphasized that they preferred international passports and no any other form of identification. In the application process, you will see other options, but the website emphasized laid emphasis on international passport being the preferred means of identification to avoid delays. So it was afterwards that I went back to the website to check through, and I realized that I did not have international passport either, and all my effort was to avoid anything that will cost me double expenses or that will cost me waste of effort or that will delay the process, because any application that has deadline, once it's delayed beyond the deadline, all effort that has been put into the process will be a waste. So I didn't want to encounter such experience. So I was doing all the findings, doing all the research, asking the questions so as to avoid any kind of delay that may come in. So when I realized that okay, passport is a preferred means of identification, I don't have it. So I also work towards acquiring an international passport. So fast forward to the year 2022, from June, July, August. It was in August that I submitted my first application, which I later realized I will not be able to continue. So in that same year, 2022, I started processing my international passport as well as my TRCN license. So I submitted my application for international. I went for the international passport in October 2022, and after about 5 months, that was around February, it was ready for collection. I went and collected the international passport, and that was done and dusted. Then, of course, take note, TRCN offices are located in the state capitals, in the federal secretariat. That is where you can see a TRCN office. Most states have it in their federal secretariat and not elsewhere. So I went ahead to apply for the TRCN license, and I was told what I should come along with, and I came along with them. Before you go ahead with this, you need to consult the TRCN office in your state, because the demands might likely differ from state to state. So this is just my own personal experience from the TRCN office here where I reside. And as at June 2023, I think June 2023, I was able to gather all the required documents for the TLCN license and the payment as well. I think it's 3,000 or 4,000 per year, and you have to pay for at least 3 years. So it cost me around 12,000 naira to pay for the 3 years, and I submitted the application for the TLCN license. Then it took time. I kept on checking on them up until February 2023. February 2023, I was now told that okay, my license is ready for collection. So when I was told that, I said okay, at least I am getting done with the things that might likely cause delay. So when I was told that the license was ready for collection, I know okay, what is now left is that letter of professional standing, of which you cannot request until you have submitted an application. Then QTS have gotten back to you, then telling you to now request for the letter of professional standing. Because if you go ahead and request for professional standing first, and your initial checks were unsuccessful due to one thing or the other, because once request for letter of professional standing is sent, you must have paid your 60,000 naira. And once you have paid that and your initial check is now unsuccessful, the two processes have become zero and you have lost the time and the money involved. So it's always best to do the initial check first. When they get back to you after submitting the application, the first part of the application, they will get back to you and tell you, okay, you are qualified to go ahead with this application. Request for letter of professional standing. Then you will now request for it. So I now got my international passport. I have my TRCN certificate and license. I now know that okay, I have everything it takes to request for letter of professional standing. So can now start this application. So when all this were done, I by February 4th, I submitted another application for the QTS. And when I submitted this application by 4th, I think after 3 days, around 7th, 8th, I was contacted that my initial checks were successful. I can now request for professional standing from QTS. So when I got this mail from them, so I now, because as at then I have not collected this my TRCL license, I was told that it was ready in the office, so I have not gone to collect it because I live far from the state capital. So the day I now went to collect my TRCL license, that was the day I now paid the 60,000 naira for the professional standing. Then seek for their guidance, and they guided me on how you can send it. It's actually sent as a mail to TRCN with the detail that you'll be sent to from the QTS team about your own particular application. So I was told what to do. So I scanned all the documents required, scanned my license, scanned my university certificate, scanned my TLCN license and other documents, which is listed in their office for request for professional standing. So when I scanned all this, I sent the mail to them for the letter of professional standing. So on that 7th, I sent the letter of professional standing for my application. And on that same day, I got an email from TRCN acknowledging the fact that they have received my request and they will go through the documents I submitted. Once my TRCN registration and certification is verified, that my letter of professional standing will be sent to the TRA in UK for the QTS. Okay, and that was it. Then fast forward to the same year and the same month, the same February 2024, 21st of February, particularly 2024, I got a mail from QTS that is telling me that okay, they have received this letter of professional standing on my behalf from TRCN, and then they can go ahead in, to assess my application and the documents I submitted for their application. And once it's successful, I will be notified. And if otherwise, or if extra documents or information is needed for that application, I will also be notified. That's okay. At least I have done my own part of this particular application. The rest is to wait and see what the end will be. That was 21st February 2024. Then, first month passed, second month passed, third month passed, because from other sources, I learned that the process takes months. The process takes a very long time before it will be concluded. So I was patient enough to wait for whatever the end will be. Then, when we got to 2025, February 20, that was this year, 2025, I at the same day, 21st of February, I emailed the QTS asking them, okay, I submitted an application on so date, and I was told it has been received successfully. And after 12 months, I have not heard from the body. Hope all is well. Hope my application is in the right place, or who I kind of try to get feedback from them concerning my application. And of course, they got back to me telling me that yes, my application was received, but due to the volume of application they receive monthly or yearly, that it is done one after the other in the order of arrival, and it has not gotten to the turn of my own application, that the assessors that is assigned to have not attended to it, that I should hang on and exercise more patience. So I said, okay, 12 months, 12 good months. I said, it's fine. I've done my own parts. It can either be a yes or a no at the end of the day. So after February, March came and passed, April. Then on the 1st of May, I received a mail from them telling me that your application for the qualified teacher status has been successful and you have been awarded the QTS certificate, which qualifies you to apply for a teaching job in the UK. And of course, it was a great news. So that is it, and that is my own journey about the application. And in subsequent time, I will be posting videos. I will be explaining in more details about these fields and the requirements and how you can find your way around the application process. And of course, information is power. Please, if you are coming across this platform for the first time, do hit the follow button and the like button and support what we are doing if you like what we are doing in this platform. And of course, support the dissemination of the information by hitting the share button so that your friends and well wishers can benefit from the information that is emanating from the video, which might be of importance to them. Thank you very much and see you in the next episode.